Sigma's a red solo. Then we should have a green solo and a blue solo.
How is your Fallout 4 streams going? It's too early for me because I'm usually still asleep because of the narcolepsy, but I see that you go live.
Well,
going great?
I'm going
Good
back to the infirmary. Kind of worried about Alice and Quark. I'll go too.
As will I.
That's right. Wait, guys. There's something I need to tell you.
Huh? What is it?
Go on.
I meant to say something earlier, but I guess there was just so much other stuff going on. I looked at Fi. She nodded back. See, the truth is... magic.
What?
Oh no! You found another bomb?
Yeah,
Where?
in the garden.
No. That's not possible. We didn't see anything like that.
Could you have missed it?
No! No way! We checked every part of that room.
There was a number on this one too. It said 1. Since the one we found in the crew quarters said 3 on it, well...
You think there might be a third bomb out there somewhere?
I think there's a good chance.
Okay, so we're in warehouse A.
We should split up and find this other bomb. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
But even if we do find it, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, I was like, this is a very long thing.
That is a concern for later. At the moment, our primary concern should be finding it.
You can't fight an enemy you can't see, after all.
Precisely.
All right, I'll head back to the infirmary and let everybody else know.
Please.
How about we set a time to meet back here, just in case? The time we have left until the chromatic doors open is... let's see...
Boop. 2 hours. Quite a bit.
1 hour and 57 minutes.
I think approximately half of that should be enough. When we have 1 hour remaining, we should meet back at the infirmary. Acceptable?
That sounds good to me. Right.
Thanks, Enyana.
I'll tell the others, too.
Let's go. So here's the plan. Ooh. I'm gonna move my camera a little bit. I hate having to slouch or move over. That should work. See, now I can be a little more straight. But I said that one April Fool's Day at his high school, 3 pigs were let loose at his school with bibs on them. The pigs are number 1, 2, and 4. That is so smart. I love that. Was that from the faculty, or is that from your dad? Because that's a great April Fool's one. Ooh, that's tomorrow, right? Evie, happy Sunday. Hope all's going well. Just another student? Cool. Memento Mori. So these are the white doors that Kay and Clover were talking about. Yeah, by cutting off, like, my left arm, and I can be more straight instead of leaning, you guys can see. Perfect. Ivori, this is the timeline where Alice and Quark have Radical 6, but we don't have enough to cure them. Then we went up here. Oh, it changed. We went here to do another vote. We hit ally. Phi betrayed us. It locked us out. Went over here. Died. Came back because this one unlocked. And now we're doing this one. But we have uncovered a lot. We'll eventually come back and do the other door. But right now we're here. Which is like barely 1/10 of the game, which is awesome. Yeah, there's the lock thing. No question, these are chromatic doors.
So it seems.
Yeah. When did you...
I've been here the whole time.
Seriously? I didn't notice you at all.
Oh. I guess your hearing's starting to go. How sad.
Yeah. So, what did you want? Why are you stalking me?
I'm not stalking you. I just followed you here.
Stalking me. But how'd you do it? You were totally silent. Are you Batman?
I already told you I'm not.
Oh, that's right. She actually went through and said, I'm not Batman, Superman, blah, 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 blah.
Remember? Back in the AB room when we met?
Yeah, actually. You also jumped super high, all the way up to the ceiling.
Right. Aren't you curious about that graffiti?
No. I'm curious why you can jump like Batman. Memento mori if the 9th lion ate the sun. In the garden, there was a lion thing that ate the sun. Did a kid write that?
Why do you say that?
Well, they managed to spell 9th wrong. Who puts an E in there?
You're right.
Then again, maybe it means something different.
Do you know what it means? The Latin part.
Hey now, give me a little credit. Even I know what memento mori means. Yeah, everybody knows that. See it all over the place. As far as I know, this translates to something like, be aware of death, or remember your mortality. Never forget that we all die someday. I guess it's a sort of cautionary thing?
What about the other part?
Okay. Do I like horror movies? No. You cannot pay me to go to a movie that's a horror movie. You cannot pay me to go to a spook place during Halloween. I am a big baby, and I am not ashamed of it. Which is why it's amazing that I'm playing these games from Spike Chunsoft. Some sort of conditional about lions and suns. Anything come to mind? What if we make him eat the sun 9 times?
No, nothing. Nothing at all. What about you?
Me? Let's see. Don't worry if the 9th lion ate the sun. I repeated the words over and over in my head, but nothing. Whatever they meant, it was beyond me. But perhaps phi. Latin.
Huh?
Don't you know Latin? Maybe you can figure more of it out.
Well, I know a little. More than most people, I guess, but I'm not an expert.
Then how'd you know about the phrase?
Oh, that. That's from, this.
She unpinned the brooch from her chest as she spoke and held it out to me. Oh, really dorky. Yeah, I didn't know that. I hesitated for a moment and then took it.
Look at the back.
I turned it over and... Now the third game makes even more sense. Guess the I is pronounced like a J in Latin?
Yeah.
Oh, really dorky. Yeah, not a horror movie fan, so I had no idea. What is
A
this?
memento of my late mother. Well, I guess it's something like a memento.
What does that mean?
She died right after I was born. I was raised by foster parents, and they told me where the brooch had come from. Apparently, it was the only thing my mother had left behind.
What about your father?
Don't have one. I guess you could say I was a bastard.
This is meaning so much right now to me, but I'm not going to say anything.
I never saw his face, and I don't know his name. I don't even know if he's alive.
Oh. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just handed her back the brooch. Brooch.
That phrase got to be almost like a prayer for me. Whenever I had to make a tough decision, I'd say it to myself. Sometimes I'd just repeat it over and over like a chant. Before long, I had it memorized. Got me interested in Latin, and I started studying the language. Elapsum semel occasionum non ipsi protest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Sounds nice, doesn't it?
It does.
But it seems kind of funny now. I mean, look at us. We've done what Jupiter can't. We can find our lost opportunities.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool.
That's why I followed you here. I thought it would be a good idea to talk to you about all this. Alone.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something else we need to do too, though.
Find the number 2 bomb?
Exactly. So we should get going. I'm pretty sure the bomb isn't in here. There's nowhere to hide it. So...
Let's go to the garden.
yeah.
Where'd the music go?
Well, come on, don't just stand there. We need to get a move on.
Okay, let's go. Fine, let's go. Jeez. Without waiting for a reply, she turned and started toward one of the exits. I followed. Like an obedient man. Sir, the blipping on the dot on the screen is getting closer. We never got to the archives yet. I think that's the other other branch we didn't do when we were agreeing with going with whatever Alice said. The archives, good place to hide a bomb. Now, where the heck do we start looking?
I doubt it really matters. If it's here, we'll find it eventually.
So, what about the Jupiter stuff?
We can talk while we look. Now get started.
Yes, ma'am. I turned to a corner of the room and began to look while Fi spoke.
I'll start with a conclusion I've come to. Our consciousnesses seem to be able to jump through time. No, sorry. Through time isn't really accurate. It's more like we move through worlds.
Worlds?
Yes. I don't mean physical planets in this case. Talking about a whole different universe, really. Parallel worlds.
Yep.
Do you know about the many worlds interpretation?
Well, kind of. I think I've heard of it once or twice.
Oh, well, I'll just explain it. Let's say... I don't care what it is, but could you move? Scratch your head, cross your arms, put your hands on your hips. Anything?
I had no idea what this was supposed to explain, but I did as she asked. Applaud.
Interesting choice. You clapped your hands, right? But you could have chosen to cheer or blow a kiss, right?
Blow a kiss? I
The
wouldn't do...
details don't matter. Just talking about possibilities here. Now, maybe there are other Sigmas in other worlds who did all of those things. All of these worlds and realities are branching off from one another. The choices you could have made branched off from the moment you decided what you were going to do just now. Every moment you make a decision, another universe branches off, on and on into infinity. Each of those branches is an alternate world, a world where a version of you did something different.
I wonder what it would look like in a game form.
Haven't you ever thought about what life would have been like if you'd made different choices? What if you'd gone to this high school instead of that one? What if you hadn't started a study group? What if you hadn't told that girl you liked her? What if? What if? But are those what ifs really just what ifs? Or are there other worlds out there where you did those things? Anyway, that's the many worlds interpretation in a nutshell.
Pretty deep, don't you say?
I've simplified it a lot.
Good simplification.
Doesn't
Even
have
I
to be
understood
human
it.
actions, though. I just used your actions to make the explanation easier to grasp. The actions of a cat, the flight of a bee, the movement of a microorganism, even fluctuations in air temperature. All these can change history.
Yeah. I'll let microorganisms slide, but there's no way air is conscious of anything.
Can you say for sure that you are? All of your actions are caused by the cells in your brain. If we go down a little further, then you could say all of your actions are the result of atoms or electrons, or smaller particles we haven't even discovered yet. Are those atoms and electrons still you making a decision? At that level, how different are you from the air?
So philosophical.
I'd say not much.
Not even gonna try to
Human
understand.
existence is just one part of reality. Falling in love is like a tulip blossoming. A tulip blossoming is like a tornado forming in South America. See what I'm saying?
Why you gotta pick South America?
The only thing that really matters is the action of the most elementary particles of matter. That's where history happens. That's where universes branch out.
And games are created to play.
Hey, you stopped. Are you done with that shelf?
Oh, no, not yet.
Well, keep looking while I talk. How familiar are you with quantum physics?
You know, I dabble. But you might as well explain anyway.
Never mind, don't answer that. I'll try and keep it simple for you. Let's see. Hey, hand me that box, will you?
Oh, cool box. Pardon me? I handed the box I was examining to her. She set it down on the desk and opened the top.
Also, Ah, there's a stuffed lion over there. Perfect.
Is this something I should remember for next time?
He's part of Felidae, too.
Felidae? With that, she grabbed the lion and tossed it unceremoniously into the box. She also took a weight and an ink jar and put them in the next to the lion.
All right, everything's ready. Remember that book in the crew quarters about Schrodinger's cat? It relates to all this stuff I've been talking about. Anyway, come look at the box. This'll only take a minute. Now look.
I shrugged and peered into the box.
What do you see?
Well, there's a stuffed lion.
From now on, that's a cat.
Okay.
A living cat. This is important. Got it?
Okay. That's a cat meow.
Oh, man. This again?
Sorry. I can't help it.
I find that hard to believe. Ugh. Fine. Maybe I can just ignore it.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
All right. What else do you see?
Oh, wait. That's not even a pond. Like pound. And a jar of ink.
Right. Now the weight is going to be radioactive material, and the jar of ink is full of poisonous gas.
I'm a kitten out of here.
Idiot. It's not really full of gas. This is just hypothetical. Imagine that it's full of gas.
Okay.
So, what's the weight?
Radioactive material.
And the jar of ink?
Poisonous gas.
Exactly. Good work. Now, there's one other thing you need to know about the jar. If it's struck by any of the alpha particles the radioactive material emits, it'll break. These particles are emitted randomly, but there's a 50% chance that one of them will come into contact with the jar over the course of an hour. So let's close the lid. And pretend an hour has passed.
This is Schrodinger's cat in the book.
Here's the question. Is the cat inside of the box alive or dead? You can't open the box to check. And you can't hit the box. Obviously, you can't shake it either. It's also been soundproofed, so the cat could be howling up a storm in there and you'd never know. Basically, you have no idea what's going on inside the box. Do you
Okay.
remember what happens if the alpha particles hit the jar?
It breaks, gas fills the box, the cat inhales it, and death will whisk her away.
And what if the jar doesn't break?
The cat lives to tell the tale.
Haha. And what are the chances of either of those things happening?
50%?
Uh-huh. So, what's your answer? Is the cat alive or dead?
I can't possibly know.
Then guess. It's not hard. Alive or dead?
Alive? Cat is pause for dramatic effect. Alive.
Nope. You're wrong.
It's dead?
That's wrong too.
Then what's the right answer?
The answer is that it's in a state where it is neither dead nor alive.
How does that make any sense?
It's an extrapolation of something we see at the atomic level. We don't know if an atom is spinning upward or downward until we measure it. Before it's measured, those two possibilities coexist.
Okay.
But as soon as the measurement is taken, obviously, only one possibility is the truth. That's what's happening with the alpha particles. Since we can't know when they were emitted or where, we only know the probability that they'll impact the jar. Because we can't observe anything that's happening in the box, that becomes the entire system. In other words, the box is like the atom. We don't know how the cat's life or death situation has resolved itself until we look at it. Until we do, it's just a bunch of possibilities. Do you get it? If the cat in the box is possibilities,
Then it's both alive and dead.
right. So, let's open the lid. And when we do, all the possibilities will collapse into a single truth. Meow. What a relief, huh? Looks like the cat's alive.
Yay!
Anyway, that's Schrodinger's cat. The many worlds interpretation is one theory for explaining that weirdness.
So there's another world out there where this cat died.
Yeah, that's the idea. Looks like that cat tick of yours cleared up.
Yeah. Well, your story was pretty insane.
Insane?
You don't think so? Just the idea of something being alive and dead at the same time? Isn't that what D&D is all about? And if the moment the lid is open determines whether or not the cat's dead, then it's almost like events in the future can determine the past. I mean, the cat doesn't die when you open the lid, so it must have already been dead.
Exactly.
I'm trying to make sense of it all. Sorry, Dorky.
You've experienced it, haven't you?
What on earth are you talking about?
Think back. Remember round 2 of the AB game? When you chose Betray, what was my vote?
Ally.
But what happened this time?
I chose Ally and you chose Betray.
Right. And both times, I put in my vote a full minute before the deadline. When did you push the button?
Right before the deadline? Like less than a second left?
I see. Well, that makes this a little easier to explain. If you chose Betray, then my vote was Ally. If you chose Ally, then my vote was Betray. But I made my choices a whole minute before you made yours. Don't you think that's strange? You do see what I'm saying, don't you?
No. My choices in the future... My choice in the future altered your action in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm putting timeline.
From your perspective, there's no other way to interpret it.
Now that I thought about it, round 1 had been the same. When I chose Ally, Alice had chosen Betray. And when I chose to Betray, she'd done the opposite.
Look at this die. I found it over there. Let me give you one last example.
As she spoke, she tossed the die into the box and quickly shut the lid.
All right. Answer this question. What number is the die on?
6. It's probably 6.
Okay. I'm going to open the lid. Good job.
That was rigged.
You got it right.
That was just a fluke.
Was it? Let's think about what was going on before I opened the lid. What number was the die on?
6?
Haven't you been paying attention? The die is still a collection of atoms, isn't it? I don't think you can reasonably suggest that it was made of some different kind of matter.
Wait, so you're saying that before you opened the lid, The die was on all the numbers?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's one way to look at it, at least.
And then when you open the lid, it was just one number.
Or it might have become that number when you declared which one it was. Your choice in the future has an effect on the past.
Okay. I mean, I guess it makes more sense when we played the last game. At near the end. Sort of. Ooh. Oof, oof, oof.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. We got a little off topic there, but I think I made my point.
I think you did.
Reality
Good point.
separates off into an infinite number of branches for each and every possibility. You and I seem to be able to jump from branch to branch. Of course, our bodies aren't doing the jumping. Our consciousnesses just sort of dive into other versions of ourselves in other worlds.
Whoa. I think I get it now. That's how you knew my name, right? You jumped in from another world. That's how you knew all those other things you shouldn't have known.
Yeah, that's the best I can figure out, at least. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't retain all our memories when we jump. Maybe we only remember particularly important things. I'm not sure how it works.
Okay. That's new
But
information.
whatever the reason, it seems to be fairly limited. And often, we don't seem to remember jumping at all. Things will just sort of pop up.
That's why when someone asks you how we know X, all we can think of is say, I just knew.
Yeah.
What's causing this then? I don't remember ever doing this before, so why would it start now?
If we knew that, I don't think we'd be having so much trouble. It's just,
Just what?
well, pretty sure it has to do with why we're locked up in here. There's no way this doesn't have something to do with whatever Zero Senior's trying to do. Why would he have left that Schrodinger's cat book in the crew quarters?
You aren't kidding, are you? Maybe this is some sort of huge Schrodinger's cat experiment. And all 9 of us are locked up inside the box, right? Meow.
What if you've got it backwards?
Backwards?
We're outside of the box, and the rest of the world is inside.
That's cool. Now that I know the third game. The moment we step out of this place...
Yeah, we might be determining the history of the world outside.
That's cool. I followed 90% of that. Yeah. I had 1,000 other questions before I could open my mouth to ask them.
Oh, good. There you are.
Did something happen?
Yes. We found it.
The number 2 thing?
What do you mean, what? What else could we find? The bomb. The other antimatter bomb. The number 2 bomb is in the control room.
Cool. Weren't we just in the control room? Yeah. Where was it? Ah, this is it?
Yeah.
This is one of them, all right.
It's number 2, apparently. Well, at least we found them all now.
No. There could be more.
It's true, there very well could be more.
Like Kay said, there might be a number 4 bomb out there. We have no way to know.
It's true. Did you tell anyone else about it?
Well, not really, but, I wasn't the first person to find it.
Who was?
Kay and Luna. After they found it, they came to the infirmary and told the rest of us.
Okay. Who was in the infirmary?
Everyone. Tenmyoji and Dio were there. So were Alice and Quark, of course. Although they were still asleep.
So everyone who wasn't asleep knows about the bomb. I see.
Yeah.
There's nobody else here, though. Thanks, Stay Hydrated Bot. I got it covered.
Right after we came here to look at the bomb, they all left. They were going to go look for you two.
What about Alice and Quark?
They're the same.
Okay.
Still sleeping. We checked them out just to be sure, but they seemed fine.
Good. Spot and I looked at one another and let out a small sigh of relief. As you do.
Oh, right. I checked everybody's bracelets when we were in the infirmary. Did you want to know what they were?
Please. It took her only a moment to explain. Alice was a green solo.